What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. Hold on, let me turn this microphone right there. All right, and it is April 21st, 2022. I hope everybody had a great day. And today's video is going to be what GPU should you start mining with? And that's kind of like a almost a trick question. Obviously, if you already have a computer and you have a graphics card, the best one to start mining with is the one you already own because it doesn't cost you anything. Now, if you don't have a computer and you don't have a graphics card, then yeah, you got some leaps and some hurdles to go through. A lot of times for people just getting into it, I always recommend them getting into and buying like a gaming rig. That way they can have everything fully assembled, fully working. They get it there, and then you can kind of almost like not necessarily reverse engineer it, but you can see where it is and break it down from there and then expand upon that. So the way you can expand upon your existing computer or a new computer or like expansion cards. So they have the 1 to 4 that turns one slot into 4 slots, or a 1 to 6 if the motherboard doesn't already allow for multiple graphics cards. So it is entirely possible to take a regular desktop computer and turn it into a mining rig. But it's about those baby steps. You got to get your toes in the water before you dive in. And I know a ton of people that get hung up on like, oh, I got to get the specific mining motherboard and this specific this and this specific mining frame and this specific that. The most important thing here is the graphics cards. Realistically, you can mine on just about any modern motherboard. Just about it. The frame makes no difference. You just need a way for those graphics cards to communicate. So now this kind of leads into me showing you guys what's available and what I prefer. Obviously, everybody's got a different preference, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll tell you what I like, what's available, and we'll go from there. Let me switch on over here. Oh, minimize that. There we go. Okay. So this is a website called whattomine.com. So you type that in, and the way the way this works, and I'm sorry for a lot of the OGs and the people that are definitely not new to mining. You just click on one of the cards, for example, like a 3070. That's a RTX 3070. Green is NVIDIA and red is AMD, just for reference. So when you have it selected, it will light up like 5700, and then it automatically populates all these different algorithms, the hash rates. The hash rate is the speed at which that particular graphics card will mine a different coin or a different algorithm. So you can say, "Oh, I want to build out a farm of one RX 5700." Calculate, and you go down below, and it'll show you some of the most profitable algorithms or coins to then mine. For example, 5700 is doing $2.16 a day on Ethereum. So it's like a quick reference guide. So if you're looking at a bunch of different graphics cards and you don't know if it's a good buy or a bad buy, first of all, if it's not on this list at all, it's probably not a new enough or a good enough card to really sink your time or money into. Now looking on the lower end spectrum, like 1050 Ti's, they still can mine a little bit, but I'd probably stay away from anything that doesn't have at least 6 GB of VRAM. So whenever you look up a graphics card, for example, let's look up one of these. Newegg's got a bunch of Radeon RX 6600s in stock. These are 8 GB graphics cards, so they have 8 GB of video RAM. These RX 6600s, if we go over here to what to mine, I believe they're on here. Let's see here. Yep, there they are. So we'll put that in, click calculate, and they are currently doing $1.12 a day on Ethereum. And if we look at their price, where was it? Right there. They're about $335. So you're looking at a little over a year for this card to make its money back. But that cost proposition, it changes. Your return on investment changes daily, if not hourly. Just because when the market's up and traffic's up, you get paid more, and when the market's down and network traffic's down, you get paid less. Obviously, we are on the cusp of losing Ethereum as a proof of work coin. It's transitioning to proof of stake, which means it won't have any more uses on the mining side of things. so we won't be able to mine Ethereum. And Ethereum is one of the big dogs. It has been like the top coin to mine for GPUs for literally years now. There are other algorithms, but it's going to be a rocky time. So you have to take that into account. Don't invest money that you can't afford to lose, so to speak. Obviously, there is an intrinsic value to these graphics cards because they are used for gaming and editing and all kinds of other things. So they will still have value. But say if the market does fall out from underneath everything, price wise, the used market would probably collapse. This happened a few years ago. Well, yeah, it's been a few years ago now, and cards that were going for $300, $400, $500 started going for like $100 to $200. So they lost easily 50 to 60% of their value just because the mining market wasn't propping up their used prices anymore. Not to mention you couldn't even buy them new. The fact that there are so many new cards available, it makes you wonder. Makes you wonder if things are just slowing down a tad bit, or at least things are slowing down on some of the less desirable mining cards. So another one I noticed, you can get 1660 supers, 359 over on Newegg. You pop these in over on the what to mine calculator, just for reference here. 1660 super, let's put 1 right there. Hit calculate. A 1660 super is doing $1.14. So just a touch more than the 6600. I like these cards because the NVIDIA cards on average will be able to mine more alternative algorithms outside of Ethereum than your AMD cards. It's just, that's how it's been for a while now, and that's kind of how the cookie crumbles. There are some algorithms that do tend to be more inclined, or they mine better on an AMD card, but on average, NVIDIA cards mine more alternate algorithms, and that's just kind of how it's been, and I imagine that's how it's going to be in the upcoming future. So Newegg's got cards in stock. Best Buy's got all kinds of cards in stock. StockX has a bunch of them. I was actually looking over on StockX, and right now, one of my favorite cards, and a card that I always recommend people if they can get their hands on, a 3060 Ti Founders Edition. It's $645 before they add in the taxes and fees and everything, but it ends up being just a little over $700 with the processing fee, the taxes, and all that kind of stuff. So $700, and that card, a 3060 Ti right now, does, let's see here. Go ahead and put 1 right there. Hit calculate, and you're looking at $2.29 a day. So, 100 days, $229. This is all before power. You can put your power cost in right here. It's at 10 cents per kilowatt, and then the number underneath it shows you after power. So you can actually figure out if you pay power. Boom, that's what it is. A lot of people I've talked to some people that are super lucky, and they have an included amount, a set amount of power. So they're only mining on 1 or 2 cards. It's included. That's awesome with their like living expenses. I wish I had that, but sadly don't. Another big thing. A lot of people are worried about or concerned about light hash rate cards. So if you look on this list, if it has a L next to it, that's the light hash rate variant. So regular 3080, for example, 91 mega hash. They'll actually do a touch more than that if you push them harder. The light hash rate version they have at 71, and they'll actually do a little bit more than that. What to mine typically errs on the side of caution and underestimates the values that they're going to be mining at for the most part. For example, regular 3070, 58 mega hash, I can get 60 mega hash on those all day long, and a 3070 light hash rate 43, whereas you can get about 45 to 48 depending on, Silicon Lottery there. So hopefully I have empowered you guys enough to be able to kind of make your own decision and maybe steer you in the right directions. A lot of good entry-level cards on the AMD side of things. The RX 6600, we looked at those, talked about them a little bit. On the NVIDIA side of things, I really like the 1660 Supers, like the 6600s. They're super low power, but they can mine a little bit more algorithms than the 6600s can, but you got to pay for that because they're a touch more expensive, and technically they're older technology, so that could play into the fact of resale value later on. Now if you're going to spend a little bit more money, 3060 Ti Founders Edition, you cannot go wrong with that card. All the 3060 Ti Founders Editions are non-LHR, so those are full hash rate cards. You don't have to worry about, oh, is it LHR? Is it not LHR? 3060 Ti Founders Edition and 3070 Founders Edition, all all non-LHR. Sorry about messing myself up there. So hopefully you guys get into it. If you need any help or anything, there's tons of people over on the Discord. Go check that out. Also, the Facebook group is down below in the description. Lots of helpful people over there too. It's the mining community is no joke. One of like my favorite communities to just be around, and everybody likes sharing information, and everybody's almost trying to help everybody because it's like a big snowball. Like the bigger it gets, some people look at it like, oh no, don't get people into mining because that'll cut into like my profits. But honestly, to get it more and more mainstream and bigger and bigger and bigger, it's just going to help everything in the long run. So one day we might be there. But anyway, guys, I don't want to hold y'all up. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, adios, all that kind of stuff. Later.